Welcome, everyone, to You Are the Cosmos global event, in which we call forth the deep wisdom of our unique abilities of the sacred self. In this time of great change, there is a strong movement toward reclaiming our power as masters of co creation with our Mother Earth to transform our world. I'm your host for this event, Amanda Kolbaba, and today I'm excited to present Yolandi Boshoff. Yolandi is a dragon priestess, starseed, spiritual guide, author, and energy alchemist. She has a passion for travel, exploration, sacred sites, and spiritual adventure. She discovered her gift for energetic connection while working with the Akashic Records and activating DNA for her clients. Through this deep remembering, she started connecting with star beings, light language, and the ancient energies of the Great Mother and the dragons. She now helps clients from more than 40 countries across the globe to remember their own ancient connections and purpose. She also channels the energies of the Great Mother by visiting ancient sacred sites around the world and works extensively with the energies of the elemental and cosmic dragons. You can find out more information about her offerings, podcasts, books, and interviews on www.divinesoul.me. If you are interested in joining the Project Earthwork Collective to promote grid work and connection with Mother Gaia, please visit www.projectearthwork.org. This is a project Yolandi runs with two of her closest friends. Her topic for today is Starseed Evolution. Welcome, Yolanda. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for the introduction. I'm very excited to be here and chat to you today.
Yeah, thank you. So my first question for you today is how did you discover your own starseed lineage?
Okay, so this is a bit of a story, so buckle in. So it was around 2014, and I was still working in the financial industry. So I was a business analyst back then, happily doing my thing, not really knowing much about anything, basically. I just started dabbling a little bit in like past lives and checking things out. And then I had an Akashic Records reading done. And the lady basically said to me halfway through the reading that I know was a starseed. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of this term. I had no idea what she was talking about. And then the minute that she started speaking about where I came from, I just started bursting into tears. And I literally just had this deep inner knowing, this body wisdom, this overwhelming feeling that what this woman was saying to me was true. And yeah, so I basically just head on like ran into this whole trying to understand what did this mean, what is it all about. And this then subsequently led to me starting to read the Akashic Records as well. So that little moment of finding out that I was a starseed just changed my whole trajectory. I left corporate. I just everything changed for me. So yeah, so through the Akashic Records was where I first found out. And then my fascination just started, and I wanted to tell other people about this and find out who else were the star seeds that were around me. And yeah, it all started back then.
Wow, that's great. I love hearing these stories because it just takes that one moment, that one person to say that right word to you, and everything changes in your life. Totally
Yeah,
different direction.
exactly, exactly. From being this corporate bunny sitting there like every day, working 9 to 5, and then boom, this happens, and then my whole world just crumbled. Basically, I got made redundant. Like I lost my job, and then it was just like, what am I going to do now? And then I like just everything just aligned, and the Akashic Records presented to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to study this. I need to know how to find this information. And that just started like a whole snowball effect of like my whole consciousness opening up. And yeah, and then like being able to just see what's out there in the cosmos. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh, so exciting. Very, very exciting. So you have also written a book called The Starseed Sacred Circle. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go into like how I came about, just so you have an idea of how it all works. So I in 2020 I had my DNA activated and I had moved to the UK just the year before. I'm from South Africa, so then we moved to the UK. And when I got here, my fascination with the stone circles here started, and I was like, "There's something here. There's something up with these stone circles. They're way older than what the Druids are, and all of that. So we don't know who built them, and we have an inkling it's Neolithic people, but we don't understand why, and all of that. And then something inside of me was just like, no." There was this weird knowing that this is connected to my Andromedan lineage. So for me, I'm a starseed from Andromeda. And I was like, no, there's something here. So then when I started meditating and starting to get some visions, etc., I had this massive download about how the ancients connected with the star people in these circles and what the circles actually meant. So it was already a medicine wheel of sorts, but it was connected to the star beings. And so in my book, I basically go into, because through that I channeled the whole modality, where I basically work with the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, and the beings from Sirius and Mother Gaia in the fashion of a medicine wheel, but connected to the stars. So that's what the book is all about. The book is really about my journey as a star seed, working through my judgment and working with the star beings to step into this place of accepting who I am, that I am a bit of a weirdo and, my ideas are different and all these wonderful things. But it's just like the star beings really taught me how to be in acceptance of who I am on this planet and my role here as a light worker on this planet and as a star seed on this planet. And the book is really about this journey through self-discovery and methods and ways that I work with the star beings to help people to reconnect to their most authentic self again.
Lovely. Can you give us maybe some examples or some ways that people could be working with the star beings if they're interested in this? Um, and also, I find it so fascinating that, those the circles and that can connect us and it's a medicine wheel. Can you go into a little bit of that as well?
Okay, so you better repeat these questions again because there's a lot
Sorry.
here.
Yes, sorry. I get all excited in my head and then I'm just like, oh, let's talk about this and then let's talk about that. And
Okay, so if I do miss something, just remind me again. So I'm gonna go back to, okay, so let's talk about the medicine wheel concept first. So basically, so when we look at like the circle and we split it into the four sections in the center. So what my guides showed me is they showed me how important as a star seed our connection back to Mother Earth is. So we start the journey basically through going and reconnecting with our shadow aspects, the darker, the more earthy, the more grounded like energies that we, for me, because I find a lot of star seeds are just out there. They just want to go out there and they want to go and work with the stars and do the thing, and then they forget that actually the reason why we are working with the stars is for Mother Earth. Okay, every single one of us star seeds who have chosen to come here to this planet, we do so in service of this planet. Okay, in service of this planet and the people that walk upon this planet. So there's the bigger picture is really about like us helping the earth to step into her full potential. So as a star seed, you have to first reconnect back to the earth. Now we're always like so traumatized because we don't want to be here and I want to be back home in the stars and all that good stuff. But actually what we're needing to do is to drop back into the earth. And once we reconnect with the earth, with our deeper selves, with our shadow selves, with those parts of us that we've kind of not wanted to look at, we actually form a beautiful foundation. We reconnect deep into what I call this umbilical cord back into the earth, right? So then we're rooted here, we are grounded here, and from there we can then go out to the stars and we can get the messages and the information and everything that they want to send to us. Now, when I started working with the star seeds, each and every one of them had like a speciality that they showed me that they could work with. So when I started working with the Andromedans, we're very much about intellectual mind, what am I thinking, all of those type of things. And we really started like working with like, how can I use my mind to actually get into the space of connecting with the stars, and like understanding and seeing the bigger picture of our lives, of who we are, of my judgments about myself, all of that type of stuff, right? Because so many times when we are in that space of judging ourselves, there's actually bigger things at play here. Like, how am I perceived by other people, etc. And the star beings really like showed me the bigger picture of this, like that higher perspective, that mind perspective of like, no, this is not about the other people and what they're thinking. This is all about you not loving yourself enough. Okay, so we started moving through that, and then moving into emotions, working with the energy of Sirius and the energy of the beautiful water creatures, and like that real flow, and like how we are keeping all these pent up emotions because of the judgments, right? So how do I let go of all the judgment? How do I move through all of that? But from an emotional perspective. So really working deeply with them. So, in the book, I have various meditations and channelings that I did from them and information that I got from them. And you can experience that when you basically sit and listen to the meditations, because through my light language, I channel different light languages, etc., that's also connected to the star beings. And then when we move through that, like, how do I step back into my power? Now, when we work with the Pleiadian energy, it's very fiery, it's very powerful, it's very driven. And so, like, how can I take that and bring it into my life? That inspiration that the Pleiadians give us, because their whole purpose and the energy that they bring onto our planet is really about, like, how do we move into that space of being leaders? How do we move into that space of really going, this is needed now? How can I get people to work with me to follow? That's what the Pleiadians bring. And then the Arcturians, right in the center of the circle, is really about that inner wisdom, that beautiful calm that they actually exude, this quiet wisdom. And that for me is our deepest inner wisdom. So when we work with the Arcturians, they reconnect us really to that part of ourselves that is the wisest part of us, and that like ancient soul part. And that's where we end off basically in the medicine wheel, where we come back to our ancient soul wisdom that we carry within ourselves. So that's basically just a like how in the book we work with the energies.
That's beautiful. I love that. I think that is very, very supportive and very such a deep healing. And I love how you say that too, because there's so many people, like you said, who feel so traumatized and who are really don't want to be here. They're always looking up at the stars and are like, somebody come get me here. Like, I'm ready to leave. And our whole purpose is to, yes, bring that to help heal ourselves and Mother Earth and bring that energy down. And I do think the ancients really understood that. So thank you for that. So the other thing is I know you talked a little bit in there about it, but maybe for somebody who is just starting out onto this journey or path, where could they start?
So I would say buy my book. No.
Yeah.
But I would do some research, right? Like, so I mean, if you've tuned into like the feeling of like you're listening to this chat right now and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so interested in star seeds, and find some descriptions of the different star seeds. So, very often we've heard about terms, and, you might have heard about the Pleiadians, or, the Lyrans or the Syrians or whomever it might be, and start checking out like what are the traits of those groups. Okay, so for me, when I started looking into the Andromedans and I looked at the traits of the Andromedans, I mean, there were so many similarities to who I was. It was a bit like having your, you're Sagittarius, and you see this list and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so Sagittarius. So it's the same thing with the star seeds. So in my book, I describe, I think about 26 different groups of star seeds. So that's the ones that I've worked with. That's in the either in the Andromedan galaxy or the Milky Way and stuff. And they are the predominant star seeds that we're working with at the moment. So firstly, go and read. And I think finding that trust within yourself when there's something in you that goes, "Ooh, that sounds familiar." start and have a look at that. I have some meditations on my website as well where you can go and reconnect and see if there's anything that comes through for you when you journey. You obviously get people who read your Akashic records for you and who can tell you as well which starseed you are, which will be, very reliable because these people are taught how to read it as well. So there's various different ways, but I think for me it's like, as an Andromedan starseed, after I had the reading done, I realized that I had many connections to different star places. So when I started looking into the Pleiadians, I was like, oh, it's like I know a bit of this. Like there's something familiar here to me. And when I spoke to my guides about it, they were like, but you must remember, you've spent time on different places working with different star seeds as a soul. So many of us as, souls or light workers, we've literally have connections to all those places. So it's like me being a South African in the UK, even though I'm South African, I'm now in the UK, I'm liking, the forests here and how they do stuff with land and etc. etc. So I'm picking up English things and putting it into my South African basket, right? So it's the same with me being Andromedan. When I work with the Pleiadians, I take some of that and I bring it into my basket. So those ancient rememberings, knowings, teachings of the other stars I bring in as well. So if there's stuff that resonates with you, it might be that you've spent time there, but your star of origin might be different. Okay, so I think it's a good thing to just get a bigger picture overall and then hone in on, okay, so what is my star seed group? And then you go from there basically.
Great, thank you. Why is it important for us to now remember our connection to the cosmos?
Yeah, so I've been really looking into this, and there's this great thing. It's fabulous to be a star seed, and but the whole question is why? Why does it matter that I am a star seed here on this planet? What is the role of the star seeds on this planet? And there's so many different types of star seeds on this planet. And when we look at the bigger picture of all of this, it is basically us being here, so me as an Andromedan starseed, I am busy getting information back from my home planet, right? And I'm bringing that information here and I'm giving it out to people to help to heal, to help to work with the land, to help to open up consciousness, etc. So every single starseed, every one of us who are basically waking up now, stepping back into the space of consciousness, we already have a direct connection back to home, to wherever home is for you. And we're bringing ancient information through and waking that up within ourselves, and that benefits this planet. So if you think about Earth as this beautiful cosmic heart of our galaxy, all of these other planets are basically here to help in the ascension journey of our planet. Okay, this beautiful planet of ours have birthed like consciousness. She's going through a massive process of like lighting back up again and connecting to other planets and other galaxies again. And part of our jobs here as cosmic beings are basically to help in this process. Okay, so there's all these beautiful grids, there's all of these things that needs to be woken up and reactivated again, and that is our jobs as star seeds, to basically help in that process. Now, if you're in that place where you are feeling scared or you just want to go back home or whatever, you're missing the point of being here. Okay, so that's why it's so important for us now to do our work. That's why it's important for us to work through our traumas and our fears and wake up again and shine our light. Because every time you step into that place of power, you're activating a part of this grid that is part of the bigger picture of ascension of this planet. Okay, so it's really important that we wake up to the fact that we are necessary. Each and every single one of us are plugged into this beautiful grid that is helping this planet to do her job at the end of the day. And you as a soul, you chose to come here. You basically made a conscious decision to come here and work with her. You didn't come here just by accident. You didn't get placed here out of thin air. You made a choice to come here. And that is one of the most important things, the fact that you chose. So it's your responsibility to step back into that space of self-empowerment to help empower the bigger picture again.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing with that. Yeah, it's really, really, that's a message that is so important for us again to remember, reclaim our power again and realize like, no, we can do this. We have the power, each and every one of us. So thank you for sharing that. Um, I wanted to ask a little bit more about, the crop circles that are appearing because you're in England now, and so many of those are cropping up around the world, but especially there. Is there a significance to that? Can you explain a little bit of that to us?
So yeah, the crop circles are an interesting one because they are, in my view, they are basically sacred geometry messages from different star beings that's being activated here, right? So, and I feel that in England, because we are literally like the heart chakra of the world over here, a lot of what's happening is those messages are activating, people are seeing it, and it's literally switching something on, some deep remembering within us. So the minute that I see it, something inside of me shifts, and then there's an activation that happens. So that's for me how I see the crop circles. They are literally little message patterns of codes that's being delivered to us by star beings and by different energies that's interacting here on our planet.
Beautiful, thank you. And how can we work with the star beings for the greater good of our planet?
So I would say, yeah, cultivating a relationship and stepping into that place of really listening to the messages that they've got for us, right? So if you are really interested in connecting with them, for me, it was really interesting in the beginning because I started seeing, when I was just exploring, I'd go into a meditation and then all of a sudden there'd be like these star beings in my meditation. And I'd be like, why are these people here? What do I need to do? But I started to ask questions. And I feel like, if we take the time to step into that place of listening, the star beings have got a lot to say to us. So really make the effort of in your meditations, if you are seeing things that you don't understand, ask the questions, and we can actually invite that energy in then. Because the more I started playing with it, I was like, oh, so I can just call in the Andromedans and they can actually come and tell me stuff. I can call in the Arcturians and they can come and tell me stuff. And sometimes they come and tell me stuff without me asking now. But in the beginning, I had to put my hand up and say that I'm available for interaction with my star beings, right? So that's what I do now. And I basically always ask the question, why are you here? What is it that I need to know? What is it that you need to tell me? And in those moments of silence, we get the messages from them. So it's really important to make the effort to listen and ask questions, because I think often people think there's just going to be this booming voice coming out at you. But in the beginning, when you're learning to channel and when you're learning to work with the different energies, like, you have to ask the questions, right? Because it's like a little mystery, it's like a little puzzle that needs to be solved. And they start bringing in information and really teaching us so much about ourselves and these things that we need to remember, these beautiful, I feel like we are filled with so many light codes that needs to be activated and switched on again, and that's what they really do for us as well.
I think that's what I think people in the beginning are a little bit unsure, like, is what I'm hearing or am I hearing anything? And I think that's the challenge for people and starting to do. So would you say meditation is the best way to start on their own, or would you suggest like being with a group of people? Um, what do you feel is the best way to go about this?
So I would definitely try and find some guided meditations and see, if you go into Insight Timer, for instance. So a lot of my meditations are on there and they connect with like the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or whomever. And then what happens is the person who's facilitating it, if you do know that they work with star seeds and they have a connection, they might have a meditation, a guided meditation. So that will make it really easy in the beginning, because that person will take you to where you need to go to connect with the energies. So they might invite in the energy of the Pleiadians, for instance, and then they can be in a circle with you and they can give you messages. So I find like the easiest way will be to find someone who specializes in starseed led meditations, because also remember, as a meditation facilitator, for instance, like myself, I open up sacred space and I ask for protection and we do all the good things. So we know that we're speaking to the right energies in the beginning when you're still unsure. So go with someone that you feel you can trust and then really go and like work on listening and then taking notes as well. So once you finish, like write down what came through for you. And the more you feel confident with what you're hearing or seeing, because very often they come and they give us something, or they tell us something, or give us a word even, or just a phrase or whatever. And that can all be something that you can start to work with. So I would say the best way to start would be with some guided meditations with a facilitator that you trust that connects with the star beings.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for that. Um, is there, just in a general way, are you receiving any special messages from the star beings? Any specific ones? Because we're going through such a, you know, amazing time right now, and it seems like so chaotic out there. Are you receiving any, specific messages for humanity for where we're going right now?
Mm, sure. Well, so many. But I feel like one of the important things that I want to just say here is that amidst all the chaos that is happening right now, I feel like anchoring back into the earth is going to help us to go up and out, okay, to get the information. So I cannot stress enough the importance of really like anchoring, grounding yourself in, but not just like in very often in our meditations and stuff we have the whole tree analogy and all of that, but there's a deeper connection that we are trying to facilitate now with the earth and starting to work with the energies of the earth on a different level. So it's not just about her being our anchor, but there's a depth to the anchor ring that is happening with the earth at the moment. So if you can imagine that in the center of the earth these energies are happening, there's so much magic there, there's so much potent energy that is literally waiting to come through us and to work with us. Okay, so by us like at this point in time stopping and asking the energies from the center of the earth to come up into our bodies and activate what is needed, that feels like something that we really need to start looking at. But we're so quick to just go up and just anchor like trees, but it's deeper than trees now. Like what we're being asked to do is to work deeper with the deeper energies of this planet. And when she allows that energy to come up, there's this process of bringing heaven and earth together. There's this process of bringing the cosmic energies down together with the earth energies. And when we mix those in together, it creates magic. There's a spark, there's so much information, there's so many beautiful codes, and we can utilize that then for the greater good of all humanity to help people reconnect with their hearts again, to step back into love, all the good stuff that we want for this planet. But we have to work deeper with Mother Earth. So as a starseed, my starting point is always go anchor right into the center of her, bring that energy up, and then go and play in the stars and start speaking to our brothers and sisters up there.
Beautiful. I love that. As you're speaking too, just within myself, I'm wondering, do we need to start seeing ourselves as a human being or this being here on planet Earth um, differently? And I don't even know if trying to find the words to describe sort of what's sort of bubbling up in me right now. But just as you were talking about going deeper into Mother Earth, it's like going deeper into our own selves and finding the magic within us. And I just have a feeling or an inner knowing of like we don't really we're not really seeing our true selves at all. We're very much different from the perspective we have right now. Would you agree with that?
Oh yes. Oh, so much. I mean, it just takes me back to what's the ancient say of like that, as within, so without, right? Like it's just like we have to understand that there's so much depth to us, and we've been living this superficial, just top life, and there's like inside the earth, if you can imagine, there's like I see it as these pockets of information, right? There's like these magical, mystical, like absolutely beautiful energies and information within our planet. And like that's also, it's a replication of what's inside of us, right? Like it's just like inside of me there's a treasure chest, inside of me there's so much magic. She's got so much magic, I'm a replication of her. I'm a replication of the universe. So I am literally the universe within my body. She is the universe within her body. So there's so much inside of us, and we just have to stop and listen. We have to start trusting all the weird and wonderful things that we're feeling and experiencing and, and seeing. And I think for so long we've been told that, oh no, that's nonsense. You must be like delusional seeing this stuff. And, for so long I felt like, oh my goodness, people are going to think I'm insane when I'm like channeling this stuff or seeing this stuff. But this is my reality and this is real. And for too long, we've been shaming ourselves out of our visions because we're scared of what other people are going to say, because we're scared of like the persecutions and all of that. But at the end of the day, we have this access into absolute magic that we need to start tuning back in. And it's all sitting right inside of us here, all of it. So yeah, I feel you and so 100% there with you.
That's great. Yeah, I know that is beautiful. I love just listening to you speak. It's like, oh, I can feel all the magic and ready to go delve in there. And I, like you said too, I think a lot of that persecution and it just through our the trauma of the past and our ancestors and that all trickles in, but yes, the shame is really what prevents us from just bursting open and exploring those areas, magical areas of ourselves and Mother Earth. So yes,
Yeah.
everybody listening to this, like, go for it, you're ready, this is great.
And I do feel there's a part of us, we're being called to be brave now, right? Like, I mean, everything that's happening, it's like you have this life, so come and live it. Like you didn't, again, like I said, you chose to come here. So there is stuff that your soul wants to do and create and experience. And, we are here to facilitate this process of reconnecting with consciousness, and consciousness is magic. I mean, the knowing of like the universe, what's out there, everything, how the energies work, all of that, like it's so much bigger than us, right? And when we start like really feeling into that, it's like, why wouldn't you want to be part of the cosmos? Like every day I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, this is so amazing, like the universe, like everything around you, right? And that's where we're meant to be. We're meant to be in that space of absolute awe and amazement at the magic around us. So yeah, it's a biggie.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And I think too, that's why our outside world is seeming so bleak right now. And the mental health is just not in a great place. And it's really a push to go back the other way, to go back to our roots, to go back inwards. It's like, yeah, it's not looking great out there. There's a reason for that. Come home.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, no, and it is exactly that. And it's just like we're on the brink of these beautiful big things happening. We're entering this new age, all of that. It's just like it's just waiting for us. So if we just brave enough to step through, and even, just start looking at people that you can, that you can listen to, and people that you trust, and people who can inspire you, because that's what we need. We need to move into a world where we're all basically helping each other and inspiring each other to want to make it a better place. And that's what this is all about.
Yes, I totally agree with that. We do. We need to come back together, trust each other, and be each other's support and inspiring. So yeah, that's great. Totally agree with that. I really wanted to ask you too, and I know it's not sort of part of our questions, but I got very excited when I read your bio about the dragons. And this is the year of the dragon. So could you talk to us about your work with the dragons?
Oh, yes. So that is literally my favorite part of my work. And oh, so the dragons for me is really like a huge part of consciousness. Okay, so when the way that I see it and I've experienced it, and what's come through for me is that the dragons were basically part of the big creation process. And so our planet as well was like so deeply linked with the dragons, and we have all these magical dragons that are literally here to help us. And dragons for me are very much connected to expansion of consciousness again, and also connected to the stars, the cosmos, back to source, all of it, right? So when I started working with the dragons and their energies, because they bring in different energies. So like the Pleiadians will bring in some energies, the dragons will bring in different energies, and dragons can be cosmic dragons or they can be earth dragons, elemental dragons, fire dragons, water dragons, all of that. So there's such a variety of energies to work with, and that we can actually channel and use to help heal other people, to help heal the planet, all of that. So my work with the dragons have really been about working with them as my assistants, and my like helping me to do my energy work that I'm doing on this planet, that I'm doing for other people, and just to open up my mind to everything else that's out there. So I also went through a very deep mystical process about a few years back, where I was initiated as a dragon priestess by them as well. And so I really take that role very seriously, because I feel like the dragon priestesses have been here helping to change things in humanity for a very long time, and that is part of my lineage. And I feel very strongly about working with those energies and bringing back the light onto this planet again.
Lovely. And what do the dragons represent for us? Like, what energies do they hold if we wanted to work with them?
Oh, so I think it will be very personal depending on who you are. So for me, I utilize the energies of the dragons when I'm working with people in deep healing situations. So if we are needing to like shift energies in people's bodies and stuff, it depending, like, I use the elemental energies that the dragons hold, so taking those energies and using that to shift things in people's bodies and old connections, and like breaking contracts and vows and all those things that's in the Akashic record. So I work very deeply with that. And also, the dragons are very much part of the grids of the earth as well. So you can work with the dragons in terms of like activating new grids in the earth as well. They are protectors of certain sacred sites around the earth as well. So you can communicate with the dragons. They can tell you stuff about the sites as well, activate energies within you that is connected to the sites. So it's a myriad of stuff that you could do with the dragons. But yeah, so I mean, it's all very exciting stuff, and it's very powerful and potent energy. And also not for the faint-hearted. I feel like they've put me through the ringer in the last few years to really be my most authentic self, and just like to take back my own power and my own belief in myself and my own trust in myself. So they really do assist you to become the most authentic version of yourself, and to do your work on this planet. So yeah, definitely love journeying with them.
Great, thank you. That was beautiful. I just want to mention very quickly because this happened to me. Oh, it was before COVID. I'd say 2017, but a friend of mine took me into the caves and we were going into the earth, and it was a little intense for me. But as we were going, on the wall was this, it wasn't an image, it was an outline of a whole dragon in the rock, in the stone. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a dragon there. Look. And my friend did not want to look at it. She refused to look. And I'm like, why would you refuse? It's beautiful. She was an artist too, so I was really surprised. But I was like, I was so excited. And it was just sort of this image, or yeah, outline frozen in the stone, and I've always remembered that. I was like, oh, that was a dragon.
I love that so much. I must say, it's just like caves and dragons feel like very connected for me. So we have got a beautiful cave called Merlin's Cave here in the UK, and I have had the most beautiful experiences with the dragons inside this cave. It's like they just love living in the caves. Like anywhere underground, that's a perfect place to connect with the dragon.
Beautiful, thank you. And I wanted to ask too, before we come to the end of this just very magical and exciting interview, is I wanted to ask you about the project that you have with your friends. Let me just bring it back up in my notes right here. So the Project Earth work that you do, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we started this quite a few, maybe 2, 3 years ago. So all of us are grid workers, and we all basically decided that we wanted to tell other people about grid work, and we just wanted to share the message of the fact that we need to start working with the earth, and starting to connect with the energy lines of the earth and all of that. And so we started this project. So what we do every month now is that we basically come together, and then we'll do like free meditations where people can come, and we'll have messages, we'll channel messages, and we'll do activations in our sessions and so forth. And what we're also doing is we are running workshops now where we are teaching people how to basically reactivate their own grid worker self, so that you can start working with the earth, with the ley lines, with the dragon lines, with the water, and with the ancestral lines that's in the earth. And so we're teaching people how to do this now, because we just feel so passionate about the earth and helping her and doing all this work. So yeah, feel free to register on the website, and then you can join our Facebook group. And then every month there's a free meditation that you can join, where we channel and we share information, and just we look at like what's happening around the planet, and we talk about like things like that. And then we also work with the grids of the planet. So yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Such great work. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think a lot of people will be checking that out. Um, can you also tell us other places online that we can find you? Or is Facebook the best place to go to look at what you're doing?
So have a look at my website. So it's divinesoul.me. And there is links to my Instagram page, my YouTube, like where all my videos go up. My podcasts are on there, and your meditations, and so much information. The services that I offer, everything is on there. So that's the best place. And then yeah, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube, wherever you choose. It's all placed on the website for you to look at.
Great, thank you. And I will have Yolandi's website information on her page here with her interview. And just speaking of her page with the interview, we also have a free gift from her. And her free gift for everybody is a meditation to help you remember your own connection to the cosmos and the star beings. So please check this out. You can find her free gift in the link underneath the interview link here. So yes, please definitely take advantage of this beautiful offering. So thank you so much. And just before we wrap up, is there any last little things you want to let any us know? Um, Anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
Oh, yeah, so thank you so much for the interview. I loved speaking to you. It was really beautiful. And yeah, I think it's like the world's intense at the moment, but just just anchor back into the earth. That is the first place to start, and just don't give up on this. It's like the fact that you're watching the summit, the fact that you are here, the fact that you are concerned about your cosmic connections, all of that, that shows that there's somewhere inside of you, there's a piece of your soul that's waking up, that's wanting you to just reconnect with who you truly are, and your gifts and your magic, and what you need to bring back into this world, and just how you interact with yourself and those around you. So it's just like, we forget that we are constantly on alert. Like our soul is literally going, look at this, there's a sign here, there's a sign here, remember who you are, remember who you are. So for me, it's just like, please just go back to remembering who you are. This is the thing that will save this planet, that will save everything here, and just bring humanity back into alignment. So just step into that, please. So thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it, and it's been beautiful speaking to you as well. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much. Yes, the beautiful messages. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for this beautiful, magical discussion today. And I want to say thank you to all our listeners and viewers. I hope this resonated with you and you take something away with you with this today. It inspires you a little bit more to go out there. So thank you for being with us. I hope all of you have a wonderful and beautiful day, and I will see you all very soon.